the middle of the night to a dark room, only to wake up to realize that your original awakening was just a dream. Or maybe you've woken up after a realistic dream and you've remembered it ever since. Either way, dreams are significant aspects of our lives that we take part in every time we go to sleep. But what exactly is a dream? There's a lot of ideas of what they are and why we have them, but understanding how they work can only be beneficial to our health. To understand what we are partaking in when we dream, we must understand how we begin dreaming, how we can relate dreams to the real world, why we have dreams, and how we can control them. So how does the process of dreaming start? There are 4 steps to sleep. The first step is a very light sleep that happens quickly if we're uninterrupted. And then the second step is a much deeper sleep than the first step, where ideas about our dreams begin to form. In the third step, our muscles are relaxed and our heart rate begins to slow down as we fall asleep. And at this point, only loud noises can wake us up. And our final step is deep sleep, or REM sleep, which is the stage where we'll fully engage in our dreams, and we remember them vaguely if we are woken up. So REM sleep is also known as rapid eye movement sleep, and it's a stage of sleep where our eyes shift around randomly. And during REM sleep, none of our other senses are used. Sometimes when we wake up during REM sleep, our bodies are like paralyzed and we can't move them. And in the documentary Dreams, Cinema of the Subconscious, Christopher Nolan, the director of Inception, he describes an experience where he woke up during REM sleep and he couldn't move and it was hard to breathe. It felt like there was a hand over his mouth. And I know people who have experienced this, so it happens sometimes. The ideas we think of during the second stage of sleeping are formed into full-on worlds created by our brains and that we see during REM sleep. So in this way, we are literally the creators of our own dreams. So some facts. We have about 4 to 6 dreams per night, and usually if we actually stop dreaming, it's due to a traumatic experience like a nightmare or something that happens in real life like bullying. And our first dream of the night is usually about 10 minutes long, and as the night goes on, our dreams get longer. So you might ask yourself, why don't we always remember all of our dreams? Since we wake up so suddenly for things like school or work every morning, our dreams aren't really on our minds when we wake up. And since a lot of us need alarm clocks to wake up, the first thing we think of is getting to school or getting to work. So it's easier to remember dreams if we wake up naturally, with the intention of recording what we remember from our dreams. For example, some people keep dream journals so that they can remember what they just dreamt and they can have more vivid and more realistic dreams in the future. But we mostly remember the most intense and powerful dreams, which is why we remember nightmares more often than regular dreams or positive dreams. Moving on from the facts that were provided by Dr. Patricia Garfield online, we can connect dreams to real life. If you think about it, dreams are just as real as real life. We feel all the same emotions that we would in real life, and it's really realistic. So in the documentary Dreams, Cinema of the Subconscious, there are several testimonies that are told to compare their dreams to real life. The first example is of a man who had a recurring dream that he would see a person down in a pit, and there were snakes surrounding the person, and right before the snakes would attack the person, he would swing down and save the person. So he told his mother this, and she was shocked because she told him that she had a dream that she was the person down in the pit, and someone swoops up and saves her right before the snakes attack her. And also, a smoker had another testimony that he dreamed that he was diagnosed with lung cancer back in the 1950s, I think it was. And he was so worried about how realistic the dream was that he stopped smoking. And there's another testimony. You might know this, but there's a man who had a dream about a beautiful song, and when he woke up, he wrote it down, and then he and his friends recorded it, and the man was Paul McCartney, and we know the song as Yesterday. So, we know that dreams can be connected to real life, but on the other hand, no one really knows why we actually dream. So why do we dream? No one knows, but there are a few theories as to why we do. The most well-known is Sigmund Freud, his psychoanalytic theory in his book, The Interpretation of Dreams. In his book, he writes that dreams are disguised fulfillments of repressed wishes that we hold in our unconscious minds. And he believed that there are two components of dreams. One was manifest content, which is all the images that we see when we dream. And two is the latent content, which is all the symbolic or the psychological meanings behind the dreams we have. So, for example, in a dream where we experience like an earthquake or something, all the objects shaking and the things falling would be the manifest content, whereas the symbolic latent content could be something like if we're breaking up with someone or if we're getting fired for a job, our lives are shaky, so that could be a symbol for it. And another theory is the activation synthesis theory by J. Allen Hobson and Robert McCarley. In this theory, they believe that the emotional areas of our brains are activated when we are engaged in REM sleep. And they say that the brain tries to find meaning in this activity, so we have dreams to answer that. So I want you to look around the room and pretend that you're in a dream right now. Everything you see, the people next to you, the desk you're sitting in, everything, it's all created by you when you're dreaming. So some people try to practice creating these things in our dreams, which can result in lucid dreaming. So lucid dreaming is knowing that you're dreaming while you're dreaming. It's real, and some people have the skill to do it, they can just do it, and others train to do it. So people who train themselves to become lucid dreamers start by, when they're falling asleep, they just keep reminding themselves that they're going to dream tonight, and that they're going to control their dreams. It doesn't, like if you went home tonight and you tried it, it probably wouldn't work at first, but if you continue to try it every single night, you would probably get there eventually. And one thing that can help when you're in a dream is if something unusual happens or something you wouldn't see in real life happens, like if a clown walked in right now, that would probably be a dream. So you might ask yourself, why is lucid dreaming even important? The truth is, lucid dreaming and just overall dreaming can actually be healthy for you. It's a fact that when we're learning, we have a lot more dreams, so having dreams can show that we're keeping our brains healthy by learning more. And by practicing things in dreams, we can become better at them. For example, if a baseball player practices batting in his dreams, he can become better at it, just like he would in real life. And lucid dreaming can treat things like recurring nightmares that some people have. And by lucid dreaming, we can just create things so we can avoid the nightmares. So to be able to understand and maybe even use dreams to our benefit, we must fully understand how we enter the world of our dreams, how dreams relate to our real lives, the reason why we dream, and how to control lucid dreaming during REM sleep. Dreams are portions of everyone's lives that happen daily, yet we don't always take the time to reflect upon them. Remembering your dreams and understanding them can help you understand your life better and widen your mind creatively. So with this information in mind, go to sleep tonight remembering that not even the sky is the limit when you're engaged in your own dreams.